Howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here, and
Bradley, weatherman.
Say hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
It is August 30th, 2016, Tuesday morning. It is 10:54 a.m. We've been up for a while. Don't look at my hair. It's one of those days.
That's why I'm wearing a hat.
I slept like crap last night. So did Brad. I mean, I don't even know if I slept. I mean, I did just off and on in little spurts, like 2 hours at a time, and I was up for an hour or 2 hours at a time. We kind of take turns. Sometimes we're both up at the same time. I don't know. That's what is the exercise in the morning happening? Oh no, sisters, no, because we don't want to sleep at night, even though we've been trying to retrain ourselves. So it is what it is. Baby steps, right? Now, Brad's going to talk about the weather, because I know y'all have been concerned. I've been getting some messages and stuff on Facebook, people and text messages, people worried about this storm coming and how it's going to hit us. So Bradley's going to talk about that.
The weather in PANACEA, Florida currently is 80 degrees. A high today of 91, a low of 77. Real field temperature 84 degrees. There are a lot of clouds out. We've been watching that storm.
Did they have a name for it yet?
No, not yet. It hasn't been named yet. If it goes to a tropical storm, then they'll name it. And they had the name, and I don't remember what it was. But if it follows the projected path, we're going to be on the outskirts. And I know we've talked about this before, but Oklahoma Bay is a very, very shallow bay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple channel markers out there, probably 300 or 400 yards. And I've had several people tell me that you can walk all the way out to those channel markers. So the storms, when they...
At low tide.
When the storms come in and they hit the real shallow water, they have a tendency to lose a lot of strength.
Right.
Talking with one of our neighbors a couple months ago, and he and his wife have lived here for close to 10 years. And he said in the whole time they've been here, there's only been one storm that's been fairly severe. And right here, we're about 7.
But did they even leave for that?
No, they didn't even leave. We're about...
They kind of hunkered down.
Yeah. We're about 7 or 8 feet above sea level right now, right here. And I guess the worst part of that storm, excuse me, the water came to the bottom of their fifth wheel trailer, and it didn't flow in. But yeah, they just kind of hunkered down, and everything was cool.
Yeah, and they're in fifth wheel, so
Yeah, and then I talked to another old guy that's been here over 10 years. Talked to him, a few days ago. And he said that he's never seen a hurricane come through here. And when I went to the doctor, he said the last hurricane he saw come through this area was like 84, 85. So
we aren't concerned. Of course, being from a cold weather state, we always keep provisions on hand anyway. And because I've talked about this before, because a lot of time, I'm just at home with no transportation. So it's just old habit and stuff. So, we've got enough provisions for, probably a week or so at least. And that includes animal stuff. We're just going to kind of ride it out. It said, winds could get about 65 miles per hour in this area. Well, we're used to that.
Yeah.
We're from Wyoming, where the wind blows all the time.
That's just a breeze.
70 miles an hour or whatever is nothing. So we're used to that. We are keeping an eye on it. It does seem very strange to us. We are so used to when there's severe weather warnings, it's always talking about the accumulation of snow and the ice. So, and I keep in my head thinking that's what they're going to say. So it's very interesting. And where we're at, it's sand. The soil is basically sand. So it drains off very quickly. It doesn't even get muddy. So, we're okay, and it's an adventure. We kind of like storms, so we're weird that way. It's like we like natural disaster movies and stuff. So, hypothesis of this happens and this would be a chain reaction, etc., etc. So, you know, we're hunkered down. We're all right. Not even scared. Not even scared. Are you scared, honey?
Not in the slightest, baby.
So, yesterday, like I said, Brad did get a ride in. He didn't have to walk. I was talking about that. He did take all the shipping in. So all orders have been shipped out. And, I'm going to start this over because this is really, really lagging. Or maybe I should keep going.
Keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
It was, all of a sudden it was like... So, if you guys saw that, that was really... all of a sudden it just kind of hit a lag. So he did the shipping and they stopped and got a few groceries and stuff. You know, and he did get an 18-pack of beer for them, which, you know, they said no, he didn't have to, but, you know, he did anyway.
I didn't give him a choice.
Yeah, he didn't. He just said, I got you something that's sitting on the back seat here. Didn't even tell him what it was. So, we did take naps. And I know, well, I did.
You did.
I know that's probably part of the reason I'm not sleeping, but I gotta kick sleep whenever I can. Some odd reason I sleep great in the daytime. I know, you know, whatever, right? But I did pick up a couple marked down steaks yesterday, and we had those for dinner. We hadn't had steak in probably, about a year?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Probably about a year.
Well, steaks are so
year
expensive.
Or 9 months. You know, and this was just chuck.
No, actually, those were sirloins.
Oh, sirloin.
Yeah, they were top sirloin, but they were marked down.
Well, at first you told me they were chuck or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. And I clipped the dog's toenails.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really always amazed. I know I talked about it before, but this beagle was actually my brother's. And then when he was living with us, the beagle basically attached herself to me. And it got to the point where even when he would call her and stuff, she would run the opposite direction and run toward me and stuff, and refused to even, you know, go down there and sleep or anything, you know, go and sleep with him or anything. So we ended up with her, you know, well, we wanted to anyway, because she was not being taken care of. She was being abused and so forth. And when we first started taking care of her little toenails were so long and stuff. They were curling under. They were curling into the pads of her feet. It took a good 2 years of me cutting her toenails every 2 to 3 weeks. You know, make sure I didn't want to cut the quick, and because at that point in time when I started clipping her toenails, one time I asked my brother to help me hold her and stuff, and he got on her, and she's a beagle, she's not very big, and he put his knee like on her chest. You could tell it was hurting her, and so I never asked him to help me again. But she was just terrified of having her toenail clipped and stuff, and like I said, it took that long, and I didn't want to accidentally cut her quick either and cause her pain, because then she would associate that, yes, this is a bad thing, it's going to cause me pain. And so I've never done that, and like I said, it took a couple years to get those nails straightened out. But now she is so great about it. She will just lay there, and she will lay there, and nobody has to hold her or anything and let me clip her toenail. Of course, she knows she's going to get a treat when she's done. But I always marvel every time I clip her toenail. You know, Brad holds the dachshund for me, just holds her up because she's little, and that's easier. And, you know, I can clip her toenails by myself if need be, too. You know, I just kind of lay her on her back and, you know, clip her toenails and just, you know, she knows, too, they're getting a treat. And, but I'm just always marveled at this little beagle. And I'm going to do part 2.